All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody, beautiful people. We are here Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. Welcome to the Premarket Prep session, our daily session where we go over all the important news, notes, analysis, trade ideas, thought points that are pivotal to making sure that you can navigate in and out of each and every week with all of these different hoops and obstacles that the market presents for us to jump over and do so effectively. Yesterday, we went over laying out the expectations for the week. Any important testimonies from people like Powell or any important data that was coming out this week. So make sure if you missed that you go back over that session from yesterday. And this morning, we're looking to build on top of it. We had a notoriously low day of volume yesterday. Which means big money is kind of sitting there on the sidelines waiting for some impetus that lets it know it's okay to get into the game. And maybe we get that today, maybe we don't. But what we're here to do is get 1% better and make sure that if that opportunity arises, we are there to take advantage. So whether you're watching live or via replay, make sure you throw those ones in the chat signifying your intention to get 1% better by the end of this session. And let's get after it because we got a beautiful day full of opportunities ahead of us, and I'm ready to take advantage. Now, our top news: stimulus blitz. Chinese central bank policymakers have come out swinging. The PBOC on Tuesday slashed its reserve requirement ratio to the lowest level since at least 2020, as well as trimming its main short term interest rate. The package also targeted the nation's beleaguered property market with measures to lower overall mortgage costs and a destocking program that eased rules for second home purchases. Looking for revival, it's all being aimed at getting the country's growth trajectory back on track. A series of downbeat data has revealed a weak consumer and long deflationary streak amid mounting debt problems and a spiraling property crisis. A strong post COVID pandemic bounce has never materialized, with worries about job security and attention shifting to exports given the weaker domestic economy. So, translation: China is in shambles. It's been in shambles, and it's not really looking like there's a ray of sunshine coming from any direction. It's also important to note that the timing of the monetary stimulus package, which is aimed at restoring confidence and may help China approach its full year growth target of around 5%. A week ago, the Federal Reserve initiated a new easing cycle with a jumbo 50 basis point rate cut, potentially giving the PBOC room to ease in the face of deflationary pressure. It had likely been hesitant until now, as higher American interest rates generally weaken foreign currencies. And if going at easing alone, China could have witnessed capital flight to the US. So there's a lot of different, very delicate dynamics when it comes to, currencies and all of that. So us finally cutting gives China some breathing room, but it's just, I mean, I feel like they never really did anything to try and curtail what was going on there. Like they never really had the ability to like raise rates and hold them higher for longer. They spent the whole past 2 years really just indulging in different forms of stimulus, right? And it hasn't really helped them at all. Market movement: Chinese investors applauded the latest stimulus blitz, which included 800 billion yuan, which is around $114 billion of stock market liquidity, and allowed funds and brokers to tap central bank facilities to buy equities. China's blue chip CSI 300 index soared 4.3% on the news after falling to a 5-year low earlier this month. And see, that's been the age old story here, is that they're getting destroyed, destroyed, destroyed. Stimulus up 4% after being down 25%, 30%, right? So maybe China comes across something that could cause a sustained bounce. I have to see it first. Like I said previously, I'm not really touching any Chinese names or Chinese stocks. Don't want to be involved. No reason to be when we've got all these great stocks, here in the U.S. And you don't have to worry about all of these sweeping changes and reforms that can come overnight at the drop of a hat in China due to the way that their government is set up, right? Like when they outlawed tutoring or limited gaming, all that, right? You can wake up and your whole business model is destroyed. The broader Shanghai Composite and Hang Seng Index also advanced significantly, each climbing 4.1% by the end of the session. Man, if the U.S. announced stimulus, our market would go up 10% in a day. So it's kind of funny because 4.1%, I feel like, isn't even really a lot, um, given what they announced. If we got that same announcement here, watch out, we might limit up. Financials news here. Game of Monopoly. The Department of Justice is reportedly planning to file an antitrust lawsuit against Visa, alleging that the company illegally monopolized the U.S. debit card market. The news sent its shares down 2% pre-market on Tuesday. The lawsuit from the DOJ's antitrust division also claims that Visa entered into exclusive contracts to hinder the growth of rival payment processors and block technology firms from entering the market. The case is the result of a sweeping DOJ investigation launched over 3 years ago into potential anti-competitive practices in Visa debit card transactions. Now, in terms of healthcare, price isn't right. A Senate committee hearing scheduled this morning has all the makings of a showdown as Novo Nordisk, ticker NVO CEO Lars Fruergaard Jorgensen will be the sole witness to testify on the prices of diabetes and weight loss drugs Ozempic and Wegovy. The committee is chaired by Senator Bernie Sanders, a well-known critic of Big Pharma who has contended that Ozempic could be sold for $100 per month with Novo still making a profit. Jorgensen, however, is set to argue that Novo is not the problem and will place the blame on pharmacy benefit managers. Yeah, everybody tossed around the blame for the exorbitantly high, prices of drugs and medicine and treatment in America. It's tough. It's a catch-22 because you go other places where like healthcare is free, but you get such crusty healthcare. Like you get access to such crusty healthcare. And then here you got to pay out the butt, but you can have access to whatever you want. It's just how much are you willing to pay for it. So pros and cons of being everywhere, right? Everything sounds good in theory, but humans just haven't quite gotten to that point of making everything good in practice. Um, Aviation news rejected. Boeing, ticker BA, Boeing's best and final contract offer will not be put to a vote by its largest union this week, as negotiators claim the proposal was made public without any discussion and does not go far enough to address workers' concerns. The plane maker sweetened its offer to include a 30% pay hike, a $6,000 ratification bonus, and the reinstatement of a performance linked bonus. Quote, your negotiating committee did not have any input on this offer, the union told its members. Separately, nearly 5,000 workers at Textron's aviation unit have gone on strike after rejecting its contract offer. Now, in terms of today's markets, mostly green here. Actually, pretty much all green across the board. In Asia, Japan up 0.6, Hong Kong up 4.1, China up 4.2, India flat. London, we're up 0.4, Paris up 1.6, Frankfurt up 0.8, the Dow up 0.2, S&P up 0.2, Nasdaq up 0.3, crude oil up 2.8%, gold up 0.2, Bitcoin up 0.2%. Consumer confidence data today at 10 a.m. So, watch for that. This isn't like the normal one that we get on Friday, but still could affect how we move. So make sure you got your eyes peeled for that at 10 a.m. Maybe set a little reminder just so that if you do see some volatility, you know what it's from and you're not kind of scrambling, wondering if you missed out on something. What else is happening? We got our rapid fire stock news rundown here to close us out. Trump warns Deere of huge tariffs if production moves to Mexico. This John Deere. Chicago Fed's Goolsbee sees many more rate cuts over next year. Report FTC expected to greenlight Chevron Hess deal. Okay, so we got more deals coming through, more deals that are being legitimized and allowed to be pushed forward by these regulatory bodies. Before there were no deals going on, and Chevron and Hess are looks like they're going to be able to get their deal done, which is a surprise. The anti deals are getting done because they've been so strict. BGC's FMX Futures Exchange launches in challenge to CME. Amazon-backed Anthropic in talks to raise money at $40 billion valuation. Wow. Exxon sued for allegedly misleading public on plastic recyclability. Nike on JP Morgan's negative catalyst watch ahead of earnings. Coinbase asked court to overturn SEC's crypto rulemaking denial. And then GameStop adds to hefty cash position after $400 million equity offering. Yeah, GameStop just soaking up that liquidity. They're like, yeah, give us a little pump and we're gonna soak that right up, use it to bring our business back from the dead. I can't wait to see once everything is said and done, like the documentaries that are made about it. If GameStop somehow makes something happen, that would just be hilarious and amazing. So we'll see, right? We'll see if anything can happen. I'm not going to be along for the ride, right? Long term, but I'll sit and if anything fun happens, I'll make sure to give it a little chuckle along the way. But speaking of chuckling, right? Make sure that you're sticking to your rules and to your system because that is no laughing matter. Right, we want to remain consistent. It's not about the home runs; it's about base hits, base hits, base hits, base hits. Manage risk, base hit, base hit, base hit. And then, you worry about the home runs coming naturally. So I'm excited, right, to see what this week has for us. Again, it's a subdued excitement, right? It's that like kind of quiet killer mentality where it's like we sit and wait, we sit and wait, we sit and wait until it's time for us to act, and then we execute. So IWM caught us slipping, had to close that down 40% yesterday. Not fun, but SPY still paying for us. SMH still paying on the swing. MU getting a nice bounce and paying, in the longer term for those long swing slash leap opportunities. So we've still got a long week ahead of us. I'm excited to take advantage of it and see what this market has to offer. Right. So everybody have a great rest of the day. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our next pre-market prep session. Have a good one.